Where's the sound trip ever taken?
Boss, you only live till you got a head from a vampire.
Okay, wasn't that fun in a awkward sort of way?
How many you figure in there?
1, 2 less than me.
But shit, we really all gonna die! So you trying to tell me that all these deaths are accidental? Let's think we're all idiots here or something.
The room was taking mentally imbalanced. Who the fuck said that? That's bullshit.
Let me go, I want to end it.
Easy, buddy, just calm down.
It's the only way, I gotta end it, I gotta burn.
Title wipe or whatever, I don't know, whatever, probably just change the channel. Now we're on to our actual episode today. Now, Zerba Paul, Jokey Pants, we're just here again. So yeah, you know, he watched a different movie because I mentioned it just because I wasn't excited to it. But starting off February, we have one that I don't necessarily hate it. It definitely has a type of movie in it that I never watch ever, which let's just say makes me and girlfriends not get along sometimes, because I can't get into these style movies, which is rom-coms. I just can't get into romance movies in general, and there's not many rom-coms where I'm like, no, that was entertaining. I just don't get into it. I don't get them. I don't like them. They're just not for me.
Because they're all cut from the same cloth. City girl meets country boy, and they get together, and they don't like each other.
Fucking
Do like each
seriously.
other. And somewhere in there, there's a Christmas tree involved, and the guy in a Santa Claus suit. Oh, that's just a Hallmark.
But this one was adding in a slasher, and I liked the slasher aspect of it. It does have its issues. You know, I won't argue that it on that, but I didn't mind this movie that much. It's just when it really leans into the rom-com aspects, it takes me out of it. But outside of the rom-com aspects, I didn't have too many problems. I didn't have like a whole lot of issues. I enjoyed it.
Whereas I thought it wasn't a strong rom-com, and to me it wasn't a strong slasher either. They kind of took some.
Let's get into it then, and let's see how you feel about this. So yeah, Hard As from 2025. This movie is made by Josh Ruben, which I know Josh Ruben best. Growing up, he was on College Humor, and he was one of the best people on College Humor, and I still enjoy him when he joins into Dropout, and he does different things with them still. But he has gotten into horror in the past couple of years. He started to branch himself out there, and he's done some fun things with it. Like, before I saw Hard Eyes, I had actually seen him in Creep Tapes. He's in one of the last episodes of season 1 as a dude hired to do what they normally do, which is come out and film a thing, whatever. But it turns, spoiler alert for the Creep Tapes, but his episode was that he gets brought out and then there's a dead body, and the killer, who we know is the killer, is just like, oh no, this is like I'm burying my mother and I wanted to make a video of like to show everyone at the funeral, blah blah. It's like a whole thing, and then it turns into like him realizing that this is just somebody that he just straight up murdered, and then he ends up getting murdered and getting chased through the house. So Josh has slowly been getting himself into the genre anyway. He also did, which I didn't realize he did it, but he also did Werewolves Within, which I didn't realize he did that one. I completely missed he was the director. But that was his first directing movie, was doing that. And I just watched that one recently with Sergeant Redacted, because Sergeant Redacted really likes that one. And I was like, no, this one's kind of fun. Like, that's fine. So Hard Eyes. Boy, oh boy. So first off, he had $18 million for a budget, and he made $38 million, because putting it out on Valentine's Day did pretty well when Saint Vincent, Saint Valentine, whatever, like, is literally the thing that you use at the end. It kind of fit pretty nicely. As well as it's just set during Valentine's Day. There's a killer who kills couples. It was the perfect setup to do the way he did it. Everybody, I'm just hopping in here quick to let you know that you can get all the CLTD books on Kindle and Amazon.com. We also have I have Audibles done for the first 2 books, and I just put out another spin-off book, Blood on the Prairie. It's very nice, very nice. So go check these out, Kindle and Amazon.com. I'll try to put links, whatever, but I'll also have them on screen, so you just know what to look for. Go read them and have fun. They're all mystery, sci-fi, fantasy, horror things. If you like supernatural, Men in Black, things of that nature, it might be up your alley. So just go check them out and give us some support. Bye now. Oh boy. So the guy who made the mask is Tony Gardner, the Mask of our killer. Tony Gardner worked on Happy Death Day, Totally Killer, Freaky. So he's been kind of doing a lot of these style movies anyway.
Yeah. I gotta say, I enjoyed Happy Death Day. We need to cover those 2 one of these days.
I did not like either of them when they first came out. I had to warm up to them. I just, for whatever reason, I couldn't get into them when they initially came out. I don't know what it was in my brain that was like, I don't like it. I've since turned around and I've enjoyed them now, but I don't know what.
Especially the sequel, because the sequel's self-aware, which I find totally hilarious. Yeah.
Yes. Which I'm kind of glad.
But yeah, I did like this. I did like the Mask of Hard Eyes, though. I thought the mask was really cool, the lit up eyes and stuff.
It has some neat feature. It even has a neat feature that comes into play later on.
Yeah.
But so we have the background things. So the clothes shopping scene that happens in this movie, which is pretty early on, that was very much a rom-com trope, like Clueless, Pretty Woman, things like that, where they have to go get dressed nicely to go on a date with the hot guy, so that, you know, they have their rom-com-y things in there that they throw in. Which leads into that Josh Ruben himself tried very hard to make sure to blend the worlds of rom-com and horror. But he also, the thing that I think, like what Paul was mentioning before, that's something that was harder for people to get into this, because he purposely wanted the rom-com side of it and the slasher horror side of it to be polar opposites, so that it very much felt like, okay, they're in a rom-com, it's happy, they're falling in love, and then just slasher happens, and then it just turns into people getting murdered and gutted, and he's like, yeah, no, I wanted it to be literally polar opposite. But he wanted to just make them polar opposites that kind of just meet in the middle and butt heads when they do come together, which I think that's why I don't like. I don't hate this as much. I'm all for rom-coms getting torn apart. I mean, literally, it's just come on, come on.
By the way, a little insider secret: keep an eye out later this year for an announcement from Joe Russo, not of the Russo brothers, the other Joe Russo. Because when I mentioned that some of the Hallmark movies needed a slasher aspect, all he did was answer my tweet with, "Remember this tweet a year from now." That's all he said.
Okay.
So I think he's working on something. That
could be neat. The detectives in this movie are named Hobbs and Shaw, which I found out
they are.
Which I found out they had come up with those names before Jordana Brewster got even casted into the movie, and then her just being one of those characters, they were like, it just kind of fell that way. She wanted the character, and then we realized, like, oh, they're named after Fast and Furious, the movie series that she's from. Like, well, you know what? Fuck it. That's just too fitting. All right, fine. You can have the role.
I was going to say, you did recognize the 2 names when you first heard or saw them, right?
Yes. Of course.
I was just checking. If not, I was going to call you complete and total movie fraud. I just,
this little detail that they have here for behind the scenes, I wish that they had actually included it. Just because when a director gets involved, if they actually get killed off in some way, more power to them to like put yourself in there and actually kill yourself off. Josh Ruben does appear in the movie. He's at when they're at the drive-in, he's the guy who gets out of his cards and shouts, "Somebody call 911." I saw in the behind the scenes things here, he originally gets killed off, but they, for whatever reason, it ended up getting cut out of the movie. But he was supposed to take a heart shuriken to the eye and get taken out when he yells that line. And for whatever reason, they cut that out. You should not have cut that out, because that just sounds funny. Also, like, he was directing it, he stepped in to do the thing. It would have been funnier if he also got killed off in it. I'm just saying, you should have kept that in there. Don't understand why that was changed. There's a line about a mailman who's killed and found under his bed, which is reference to his first movie, which was Werewolves Within. But yeah, so cast-wise, we have Jordana Brewster, who's from Fast and Furious, is what most people would know her from now. You have Mason Gooding as one of the main characters, who I think most people would know him best now from Scream 5 and 6, because he's one of the twins. And then other than that, the other big name in this movie that stands out to me that I know at all is Devin Sawa. Like, he just is in this movie as the other detective, and I was just like, good for you, sir, because, like, other than this, the only thing I really remember seeing him in more recently was the Chucky series, and then he, like, went and did this movie, like, right after that was done.
Well, and before that was a little thing called, let's see, what was it called? There were like a bunch of movies, and they just did the last one. That's the one. That's what it was called. Yeah.
He disappeared from acting for a little bit there, so I was happy to see. It was interesting seeing him.
I think he's reached the point now where he's just doing stuff for fun. He's just doing little cameos and stuff for fun.
I think from what I've seen him,
it also keeps his SAG membership up to date, and so he can get the insurance. So.
That's probably fair too. The opening to this movie, let me tell you, gives me PTSD from my childhood, folks. Because and also, let me tell you, I know the song that is playing at the beginning because I have heard it a million goddamn times. As I have put immediately reminded of car rides with my mother or every fucking wedding I ever had to go to growing up. But also, fuck the goddamn internet. Because when I looked up to get in my brain, I couldn't think of who the artist was that did this song. Every search told me, oh no, the only music in Hard Eyes is the scores and things made by blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no. That is a very famous country song that is used all the fucking time. And especially when I was growing up in the late 90s. Like, this was the go-to fucking, like, song for weddings and whatnot, which is why it is fucking used here. Do not lie to me that there's not a song here, you sons of bitches. So the movie opens.
What song was it? I don't remember.
Well, we open with the couple, Patrick and Evelyn, who are doing a proposal. Amazed by Lone Star is playing while the credits come in, all the logos, and then we get the couple. Yeah. But for whatever reason, if you try to search up opening song to Hard Eyes, you have to dig and dig and dig to find this fucking song. And I don't know why.
I just didn't remember. But yeah, that's actually one of my favorite songs. I love this Lone Star. Their harmonies are amazing. And
I
the first
hate
line of
this
that
song
song, and the
so
first song, the
much.
first line of that song is "Baby, when our eyes meet." See, there's a
Yes.
it's a
Yes.
very romantic, gushy song.
It is. I am very notably, very vocably. I'm just not a country fan. Now, folk music kind of things I can get into. Country I cannot, and I blame that on my childhood because I had. You'll hear all about it when I do episode 2 later this
Well,
month.
and
Don't
it was
worry.
and that was '90s country, which was okay. I mean, like I said, I enjoyed that song, but I could definitely see that got overplayed at weddings and things like that a lot. You know, it's like we get it, you love her, let's go.
Wedding, every anniversary, or just car rides with my mom. That was on a mix CD every fucking time. But yeah, so they're playing the Amaze song.
You would have been happier with the song called "Let's Get Drunk and Screw," a real country song, by the way.
No,
And if you've never heard it, look it up later. Look it up later. It's real. It's honest to God, it's a real song.
So they have the proposal going, and it's a whole thing. And then Patrick's phone goes off and interrupts the whole thing. And we get shown that there's a cameraman sitting a bit of a ways back in like the woods, who's supposed to be getting the perfect picture of the proposal. But he calls Patrick and tells him, like, I didn't get it. It's like, what do you mean? He's like, I didn't get the shot. Redo it. I didn't get it.
I did like
you
that
out
part.
of the moment what's going on.
I thought that was totally hilarious.
It was. It just ruins the mood
Baby,
immediately.
baby,
It's just this dude like,
we got to do it
it.
again, man. We got to do it again, baby. What? What do you mean we got to do it again?
But don't worry. But don't worry. You don't have to deal with the whole love story, because then he takes a fucking arrow to the face. He just starts going cross-eyed because there's a killer. And the cameraman gets the last shot that he ever gets is that he gets a machete through the lens of the camera into his face, and then the arrow hits Patrick in the face. And Evelyn runs, and she trips and she falls. We're shown that it's just a big vineyard that they're at doing this whole photo shoot thing. The killer takes fucking Patrick's phone and calls her, and she tries pulling the whole, like, you don't know who you're messing with. I have connections. I have people. Just, you don't even understand what you're doing. And then he just shoots her in the foot. Just like, I don't give a shit, lady. Like, did you see what I did the other two? Be like, I don't fucking care who you are.
I've had people do that to me before. That whole "Do you know who I am?" And I've wanted to punch them in the face at that point. I have. Do you know who I am? How dare? I'm like, dude, no.
Yeah, surprisingly, I've never
yes,
had
I
that
know who
happen.
you are, and I really don't care. And I really don't.
Which the one fun, I will say, like, the one fun detail about the Hard Eyes Killer here is that every weapon he has a heart on it. So all the arrows are heart, like, arrow tips. All the knives are hearts somewhere on them. Like, everything's based around this concept.
Hey, he's got a theme going, okay? He paid a lot of money to some people for this stuff.
He paid a lot of money, and he keeps to that theme no matter what.
And I gotta figure that he killed whoever helped him make all this crap, because
I would assume.
this is not.
I would assume, like, if the killer
Hey,
didn't
thanks
do
for the
that,
1,000
that'd
heart-shaped
cover it up
arrow
pretty well.
tips. Now I gotta kill you, because if they ever come looking,
Exactly.
they're gonna,
They're gonna know exactly who did it. But yeah, so Evelyn ends up running around. She ends up in the wine barn warehouse kind of thing, whatever, where they make all the wine. She runs into a security guard. The security guard tries helping her, and then he tries being like the white and, the knight in shining armor, where it's just like, hey buddy, don't you take any more steps. Immediately takes a fucking throwing knife to the face. Like, doesn't even get to pull the gun, doesn't get to do shit, just immediately gets a throwing knife in the face. So Evelyn, clearly, she runs, because what the fuck else is she gonna do? This is something where there's decisions made by people in horror movies where I just go, you deserve what's going to happen to you now, because that might be the dumbest decision you could make. Because she gets into this machine that crushes the grapes down and turns them and rotates them and makes the starting of making the wine.
For those of you who really
it.
want to be educated, that's called a wine press. It actually is what they call it.
I don't drink wine, so I have no idea what that's called. Fun fact, I've tried wine twice, and I thought it tasted terrible both times I ever tried it.
You haven't had good wine then, because,
I keep getting told that, but like, on Refney, my co-host over at Oddcast, who you'll see the end of January, him and his wife got a bottle from somebody for their wedding, and they were like, this is really good wine. And all of us were like, I don't think we're wine people, because this doesn't taste good. I don't know why everybody loves it. They're like, it's like a $70 bottle of wine. We don't want to waste it. Do you want it? And I was like, I hate wine, so no, I don't.
I gotta say, knowing you like I do, it's probably a good thing you don't drink wine. I just throwing that out there.
I don't really drink in general.
That's a good thing. So
fun fact of Jokey Pants. I'll have a beer. If I'm at somewhere that's drinking, I'll do like a rum and coke, and that's the most I'll do. Because I'm just not an alcohol guy. I don't like the feeling of being drunk. I just don't like it.
Fun fact about Cerebral Paul. Fun fact about Cerebral Paul. When he was very young, his noni, which is my grandfather on my mother's side, my noni, who died before I was 3. Every time we would go over to their house, he would take me and we would have a little glass of wine. So I've literally been drinking since I was infant. But it's an Italian thing, because I was the firstborn male in the family at that time. And so like I said, that was my great grandfather's thing with his first great grandson. So yeah. All this, all this keeping kids. No, my parents didn't keep us away from alcohol. In fact, quite the opposite. They didn't make a big. They didn't make a big deal about it either. So it was like, even to this day, I can take it or leave it. It's like,
my parents let me try a beer when I was. I don't even remember how old I was, but I was very curious about it. They're like, "Oh yeah, go ahead and try it," and then I hated it, and they were like, "Yeah, so stay away from it."
Another fun fact, and if my mother actually watches these shows that we do, because I post them, and she does watch some of my stuff, she may not be thrilled with me trying. My sister, my older sister, when she was about 2 or 3, family party trick. You could give her one of these beers. This is Mountain Dew, by the way. This is not beer. And she could chug it to this point every time. Every time. So there you go.
So there were problems. There were some issues. Good God. So back into this here. So she gets to the device there, and then the killer kind of fucks with her a little bit. He tries to like grab her, and he's gonna pull her out. And she thinks she's being smart, because she slams the little sliding door on his forearm in his hand, and it's like, yeah, you're not gonna get me. But now you've just trapped yourself, because even the killer's just like, oh, I don't have to actually do anything. All right, you've done my job for me. As he proceeds to turn on the machine and lock the door so she can't get out. And there's a little detail here where the killer circles around the green button as she's screaming, like just savoring in the fact that she's asking him to stop, and then just boop, and she gets crushed. Gets crushed very, very, very badly. And that's the opening kill to this whole movie of Hard Eyes. Is this
and every bitch. Italian in the world, and every Italian in the world cried because no good wine's coming out of that thing for a while, and they're gonna have to like
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, no. Yeah, no. Uh, but then it cuts from there. We get a whole bunch of news coverage that there's been a hard eyes killer for a couple years now. That this killer comes out during Valentine's Day, kills some couples, and then disappears without a trace. It's been a real issue. But don't worry, because now we meet our main characters that give us the rom-com aspect to this holiday movie. We get to meet Allie and her best friend Monica, and they're getting coffee, and they're having a whole talk about when they get to work today. Allie's probably going to be fired because of the project that she got put on. She doesn't feel confident about it. And we'll see that she was rightfully not confident about it when we get to that. There's good reason she did not have high faith in how this would go for her. But she's getting coffee. I wrote down the order because it is one of the most obnoxious goddamn coffee orders I've ever heard. And I never want to work in a coffee shop because people like this I would just bitch slap. I'm just like, order a regular fucking coffee. What are all these extra steps? Fuck off. But she goes to get her orders. She runs into a guy named Jay, which is our Mason Gooding there. And he's like, no, I'm pretty sure that's my order. She's like, no, I think I'm the only one who orders this. And of course, immediately this second coffee comes up, and it's the same thing, which is large blended ice Americano with oat milk, 2 honey, 1 sugar. And they both go, oh my God, we got the same kind of coffee. Who would have thought? I thought I was the only one who ordered that.
And in my head, I went, oh my God, we're a couple of douchebags. You know, it's like...
I put creamer in my coffee. Yeah. I don't have a problem with that. It's
we're meant
extra shit.
We're meant to be together, you know.
Oh, that's exactly what it means. Well, welcome to Rom-Com. Yeah, but they have a whole moment here. We also learn that she only uses metal straws, and that she carries it around with her everywhere. Because he offers her a straw. She's like, no, I hate the paper straws. They literally just disintegrate in the drink. I'd rather not. Which
I do, yeah. I love the metal straw was a foreshadowing of what was to happen. As soon as I saw the metal straw,
I kept waiting for that to ever be used. When it does get used in the end, I'm like, oh, we finally got there. We finally got it.
But that would definitely, as soon as they made a big deal about the metal straw, I went, that's foreshadowing, baby.
I did chuckle at the at Jay's line here when they're talking about the paper straw. And he's like, oh yeah, you know, plastic cup, plastic containers, you know, but as long as the straw's paper, that we're saving the environment. We're doing our part with the straw. Everything else is plastic, but the straw, that's what does it. And I'm just like, yes.
I gotta say, yes. I too am not a paper straw fan. It's like sucking a drink through a toilet paper roll. You know, it's
I just never. I get the reasoning behind it in a way, but
I do too. But it's weird.
They weren't good when they first came out. I haven't tried one since because when they first dropped, I was like, yeah, no, this is just falling apart. This is bad.
Yeah,
it doesn't do well.
Yeah, and to me, metal ones are just weird because there's no give to them. So it's like, you know, you're literally, you know, chomping down on a piece of metal. You know, it's like
I feel like a guinea pig.
That's what they're missing. The little ball at the top.
Fucking goddamn it.
You gotta hold the cup like this so it comes down. So
God damn it. So we cut from there. And Allie and Monica arrive at work, and we learn that they work for Crystal Kane Jewelry. And Allie had made an entire ad campaign to sell diamond rings, and it was her whole thing is she had to make this ad. My fucking God. Her ad is literally opens with Romeo and Juliet. They do Bonnie and Clyde. They do the Titanic. And, like, they have little red streamers that come out of them every time they die. And it's just like, love can die, but diamonds are forever. Well, the Miss Crystal Kane pauses it and just goes, so we have a killer running around the city, murdering people on the holiday, and you thought your bright idea for an ad was a bunch of people dying. Yes, let's sell diamond rings and say that you're gonna die if you get one. Who fucking did this? And
personally, I like that ad idea. You know, I thought it was cool. So I probably would have been more for practical effects, you know.
Hey, well, you know, I also laugh here because Monica tries defending her and she's like, I thought she put her best effort. It was like, I thought it was a really good ad. And Crystal Cage just looks at her and is like, yeah, you? I don't know your name, but shut the fuck up and sit down. Like, and then just rips Allie apart because it's just bad timing for the ad when there's a killer going around. It's like, we're never going to sell anything. But that's when it's revealed that Jay, who she ran into the coffee shop, is actually an ad, like, guru who does ads for a bunch of companies and is really good at his job, and he gets brought in. And that's when you get the, oh my God, the hot guy's actually supposed to be here. Oh my God. And the boss just straight up tells her, like, yeah, no, he's going to help you make a whole new ad. Because if it doesn't, I'll fucking kill you. No. I'll just blacklist you. You'll never work in the industry. Or I might kill you. I don't know. You take care now, Allie. Just make sure the ad goes off without a hitch. Because I might kill you. I might kill you. Oh, so it's like a whole thing there. Like, Jay comes into the bathroom and they try saying it's a girl's bathroom. And he's like, actually, technically speaking, this is a unisex bathroom, but totally understand. I just need to let you know that, like, I have to leave tomorrow morning. So we need to figure out the whole ad thing, like, immediately. And he sets up a dinner. It's a whole thing there that they're going to go to a dinner. They're going to be in the ambiance of Valentine's Day to make this ad for the diamond rings, which makes sense. You get inspiration to see what is actually going on, get an idea that you could run with. But we cut from there. We cut back to the vineyard, and this is where we meet detectives Janine Shaw and Zeke Hobbs. They make
Which
a joke
one was
about
played by
that
The Rock?
later in the movie.
Which one was played by The Rock? I don't remember.
I think I think The Rock is Shaw, and then
Hobbs was what's his name? The other action star.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank on his name too, and I make Jason Statham. There we go.
Yeah, Jason Statham. There you go. Yeah. Which might have made this movie better. Which
Jesus Christ. But yeah, Jordana Brewster, Devin, they're talking about that Shaw, played by Jordana Brewster here, she goes onto a bunch of dating apps and she just gets matches all the time because, you know, attractive woman, whatever. It's a whole thing here. But they get into a discussion about it, about like, man, you just match like all the time. Like, do you even bother sticking with the people you go on these dates with? And she's like, I just haven't met the right guy yet, but a lot of matches though. So, you know, just lots of possibilities, and it's Valentine's Day. So you never know. There's always going to be somebody looking to get dates. And they make a joke about that she needs a real man, but that essentially Hobbs hasn't been dating because he's always afraid of losing his balls, which will come back later. There will be a kill on him later that brings that back into fruition.
Foreshadow number 2.
Yeah, seriously. But yeah, they get into the vineyard. They find a ring with the initials JS. And they find that there's the killer took the time to take roses and make 2 hearts and then put Evelyn's heart in the middle of that as like his calling card. When he would have had time to do that, I don't know. It's really kind of unclear how long it's been since the kill happened to the cops showing up, but that takes some effort there. God damn.
He should have put a diamond ring about the stem of the rose. I'm just saying.
You know.
Yeah.
So this here is when they're going through the kill itself, and they're trying to figure out who could be doing it. So Hobbs says, like, oh yeah, clearly this is a guy, because, like, I mean, the strength you would need to kill the two people before and then chase her around, blah, blah, blah. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, as Shaw goes, well, I mean, it could be a woman, though. You know, lover scorned, or like the girl who wasn't popular and never got picked to go to the dances. It could always be something like that. Doesn't have to be a guy. I think just automatically assuming it's a guy is kind of sexist there. And they get into like a whole discussion there. But wink, wink, nudge, nudge. The killer might not be a man. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
And they actually missed. They could have like really had fun and mentioned like the movie Prom Night.
Well, I mean,
Hello Mary Lou.
Too, I don't think they name drop anything, but they talk about it is just stuff like that.
Yeah, I just think they could have had it since they were being so kind of self-aware. They could have. Yeah.
So then we cut back to Allie and Monica, because we got to get that rom-com style in here again. We learn that Allie's plagued by pictures of her ex that she broke up with. Fucking just goddamn it. But she constantly gets pictures of him with his new girlfriend, and it's a whole thing they get into a conversation about. And then Monica takes her out shopping because she has a sugar daddy who's paying off all her debt and gave her a very expensive credit card. So she's like, we're going to go get you new clothes and make you look good for this date. And that's when you get the typical like fashion montage with her trying on a bunch of different outfits and seeing what one would work. But she does, and she goes to the dinner for Jay. And Jay's running late because she gets there and Jay's just not there. And it's a whole thing here. They have a discussion about how to go about doing the ad and what exactly the themes of Valentine's and love means to her. And that's when we learn about Allie got broken up with, and she doesn't feel like that's actually a thing. That everyone just goes from bad experiment to bad experiment, and to try to sell diamond rings to people on Love is Forever is a lie. And then Jay's a hopeless romantic, so they butt heads on that. But here's the thing that fucks them over and leads to the entire movie taking place. As she's leaving the restaurant, because she goes to catch up with Jay and apologize for being a bit of a dick about him trying to come up with an ad idea, her ex walks up, and the ex has his girlfriend, and she immediately fucking just makes out with Jay to try to make the guy jealous, which is a mistake, which we'll find out is a very big mistake very, very quickly. But this part makes me fucking laugh every goddamn time, because the ex and the new girlfriend are talking about, yeah, we had a dinner reservation for two, but the people that got murdered, yeah, they were supposed to come with us, so we're not gonna have a double date now. And it makes me laugh because Jay looks them dead in the face and he goes, but you still kept the reservation, huh? Seems kind of fucked up. Your friends got murdered, but still going to the double date reservation. And they're just like, yeah, well, it's hard to get in here, so we figured, I was going to say, it.
The place is hard to get in, months in advance, you don't have to blow
I'd have the same reaction as Jay of like, you found out your friends were murdered like 4 hours ago, and you're just like, gotta get to that dinner reservation.
Hey, they're celebrating the life of their friends and what they meant to them.
Oh, fuck.
was supposed to be a double date, but unfortunately... Ooh.
What does that mean?
You know the couple that got murdered up at the winery?
What, you know them?
We worked together, played racquetball.
Racquetball.
It's tragic, really.
Still kept the reservation.
Oh, of course.
Oh. But they get in the taxi, they head back to Allie. Allie's going home, and then Jay just hops in the same taxi because they're trying to pretend that they're boyfriend-girlfriend. The mistake that was made was that kiss, because we see that the killer was watching them the entire time, and that'll be a detail that they bring up in the ending of how exactly this came to be. There was more to that vineyard stuff than you're led to know going through until the end. But anyway, they get back to Allie's apartment. Allie forgot her keys, which she says that she forgot them back at work. I think by the one detail that is in here very soon, I think they got pickpocketed off her at some point. How, I don't know, but it's the only thing that makes sense in my brain. But anyway, she can't get in, and she says she's going to break the window and just get in through the door that way because the landlord will forgive her. And then Jay, trying to be a gentleman, is just like, no, let me do it. Like, I got you. And then fucks up his hand. He's just like, no, see, it's all fine. Oh, that's not fine, though. That's not fine. So she takes him up to her apartment. While they're in the apartment, we learn, because she's taking care of his hand, they start to kind of talk, whatever. But she's very good at removing the glass from his hand, and that's when we learn that she was in medical school. The reason she didn't finish is that she has a very bad time seeing and dealing with blood. She was good at everything else,
Wait.
but blood she couldn't handle, so she had to drop out.
It took her till how long to figure that out? I mean, seriously. Yeah, if I were her parents and I had footed that bill, I'd be pissed off.
I would have killed my child. I would have no child anymore.
Second or third year of medical school, and you go, I can't stand the sight of blood.
Oh no, it's a shame. She had a terrible accident.
You are paying me back every single penny.
Every fucking penny. This fucking scene. She realizes that her vibrator is on her nightstand. So she talks with Jay to distract him, and it's hiding it behind her back, and she's just like, yeah, it's crazy. I went to med school, I got pretty far, but when it was a lot of blood, I had a lot of issue. She opens the closet to throw it to just hide it real quick. The fucking killer's in her closet, which is why I'm like, did they steal her keys at some point? That's one of the biggest details of this movie where I'm like, how did they get in her apartment before her? Because they're shown that you need a key to get in, but there was no break-in, so that's the one detail where I don't quite understand, other than somebody got her keys at some point somehow. But anyway, it's a funny little scene because she just throws it in his face and tries to close the closet door, which doesn't work at all. But they get into a scrap, they start fighting the killer, and then as I have it on screen for purposes of we're covering this movie, but the killer buries his knife through the fucking door right after Jay's just like, are you okay? Are you all good? Did you get hurt? She's like, no, I'm fine. And then just slam. He starts breaking open the door. They get outside and they go up to the taxi, and they're going to get the taxi and they're going to get the fuck out of there. Would have been a good idea, except the killer's now downstairs and shoots the taxi driver in the face. And then we get some of the funny lines in this movie, which is just that they're like, we're not a couple. Why are you trying to kill us? We're not together. You only kill couples. And he stops for a second. He hesitates. Just like, oh, well, I mean, you have a point. Until he hears Jay's phone with, yes, 911, what's your emergency? And then just smack, shoots the phone. So they run off. They end up, I don't know, they somehow, movie's gonna movie, but they end up in like an abandoned carnival amusement park area thing. Jay gets knocked out. Allie gets chased. She tries to hide on a merry-go-round that the killer then powers on. I kind of like the. I kind of like the way it plays.
Why do they always
scene,
pick the
though.
merry-go-round though? The thing that
I had
goes
the
around
same
is
question. Why is it always a merry-go-round? Like, the only show or movie that it makes sense that I can think on the top of my head, because I just recently rewatched through, is Punisher Season 1's ending. The merry-go-round there makes sense because that is where his family got murdered. Every other movie that does this, it's just kind of randomly in there.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, they power it on, tries to kill her. She ends up getting saved because some cops show up, answering to basically signs, hears of screams, whatever the fuck. They're out searching for the killer anyway, so they getting calls about someone screaming bloody murder. Cops show up. So Allie gets to live. However, the detectives, Hobbs and Shaw here, reappear. And this is where you get the joke about that naming, where Allie's like, you mean like the action movie Hobbs and Shaw? And they both look at each other, they're like, never seen it, never heard of it, I don't know what you're talking about.
Here she is. Detective Zeke Hobbs. This is my partner, Detective Janine Shaw.
Hobbs and Shaw? Like the movie?
I haven't seen it.
But it's just a little self-aware joke in there. But yeah, they have Jay in custody because they think that Jay's the killer. Because Jay was left with the mask and the cross and the mini crossbow that the killer uses. And they're like, well, he has the thing, so like, pretty sure he's the killer. And she's like, but Allie does bring up, but I was being chased by the killer and he was knocked out. And then we were both being chased by the killer, so why would he be it? Need to make the note here that Shaw's the one that brings this up. And it just, when you get to the ending of this, you're like, oh, well, God damn it. But Shaw brings up, well, maybe he wasn't working alone. Maybe there's a second killer and you don't know that. Either way, he has evidence on him. We're going to question him.
Given that that other self-aware line came out at that point, he said, have you ever watched the movie Scream?
Exactly. So Jay gets questioned about all the stuff he had on him. They bring up the ring with the initials JS, and he's like, Jay Simmons. fucking Detective Hobbs here tries being so serious about it, and Jay just keeps fucking with him, and he's like, yeah, there's one problem though, I've never been married. Also, who the hell gets inscribed their own initials into their own wedding ring? That might be the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Also, how long have you been a cop? And Hobbs is just like, wait, you being sarcastic? Well, first of all, yes, I am being sarcastic. But second of all, like, it's not my ring because I'm not married. It's like a whole thing here. You just being a dick to him.
And then I would have given it, and third again. How long have you been a cop?
Yeah, exactly. Shaw sends Hobbs out, and then Shaw basically just tries flirting with this man, flaunting her boobs and all. Just so hardcore. It's just like, he's kind of cute. But she does bring up that he was in all the cities at the same time as all the other killings. The ring may not be his, but it's definitely his initials. So, like, does he have any explanation? And he's just straight tells her, he's like, I work freelance for promotional ads. I travel to a lot of cities because I'm constantly working with other companies. So, like, okay, I was in the cities at that time happened. I also do ads for like diamond rings, which are very popular at this time of year. So like, yeah, I was in other cities.
I'm here for that because you should have seen the shit ad she wanted to do.
Allie's in the waiting room or the lobby there. She's trying to get answers. The cop that's on duty there is doing a crossword. We get a nice little. What's a 5-letter word for female dog? I can't think of it. And then Allie's just like, bitch. Excuse me? Female dog, bitch. Oh, that fits. Yeah, now can you go get me answers about my friend if he's gonna be let go or whatnot? Like, there's little things like that that get me. So they do that. The cop goes back, and I this fucking term. She's like, yeah, we got an HWW. And even Jay's like, what the hell's an HW? She's like, hysterical white woman. I got this. I'll handle it. Shaw just like makes small talk with Allie about like, are you single? Are you actually seeing? Knowing how this movie ends, she's very much trying to fish for justification for them being killed. Because she's like, so you don't have a thing for Jay? There's not like a connection there? You're not like maybe interested in him? Oh no, I'm just making girl talk, just getting my coffee, making girl talk. Don't mind me asking all these questions. Not at all. But the lights go out. Cop goes into the closet. Allie gives her the warning that he hides in closets, but then he's not there because, not going to be there. That's too easy. No, it's shown that Hard Eyes, I assume, was in the closet and then moved. Oh, also before we get to that, I forgot there is another detail here, which is that there's an IT guy working on the computers for the main desk, and his name is David. David will be important at the end of the movie, but David is first shown here as just an IT guy that hits on Allie. But yeah, so
you've gone through 2 acts of the movie without knowing about David, and all of a sudden he's here.
So yeah, the cop gets a flashlight, but then the killer was hiding in the corner, and he takes the flagpole and he impale and lifts the cop up, just murdered immediately. Now, Allie's thinking in her mind, it's dark in here. He won't be able to find me if I just get down low and I go hide behind the desk, whatever. But that is where we see a neat little feature that this mask has, which is it lights up red, so he can now see in the dark. Like, he's not blind, you're blind, but he has built-in way to see in the dark. And it's also just a nice little feature that it's hearts, so it's a red light that comes out.
Little red hearts, yeah, it's kind of cool.
Oh, that's a fun little detail. Detective Shaw tries to help. She gets knocked out off screen, and then this is where Hobbs gets killed when the killer slices upward into his nuts because he just had to mention that earlier. And then he gets his throat slashed. But first, they make sure to go for the nuts first. Specifically because he talked about that. Allie ends up hiding. She finds Jay in the interrogation room. And then they got into an argument earlier about that she abandoned him. And she's like, I was getting chased by a killer, you asshole. Like, what was I supposed to do? And he's like, no, it's fine. I was just laying there. He could have killed me, but it's fine. It's whatever. So when she's in the interrogation room and he tells her the keys are on Hobbs. You have to go find him. He has the keys. She stops talking through the two-way mirror thing, whatever. And he's just immediately like, she abandoned me again. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. She abandoned me again, but it's fine. I'm just trapped here with a killer running around a police station. It's fine. Which Hard Eyes walks in because he took the badge off the dead cops. He gets in there. Jay somehow manages not to get caught, like killed in this scenario, even though he's handcuffed to a table, because the killer's just fucking bad at what he does.
Yeah.
The man is handcuffed. It is not that hard to just reach over the table and get the man. Like, for the love of God.
I think this is the point when I said earlier that there are some of these kills or sequences that I didn't care for. I think this was one of them. Is because everything we've seen, fair. All of a sudden the killer kind of turns into a total and complete moron.
Yeah, well, it could make sense for the reveal at the end, possibly.
Well, yeah,
because you know who it is doing it. But anyway, Allie does show back up and she shoots out the glass, and then she's just a terrible fucking shot. And even Jay tells her, like, you're a horrible shot. Because she shoots like 8 fucking times and doesn't hit shit. She doesn't hit a goddamn thing. She almost kills Jay in the process, but does not hit anything else.
This other part bugged me because I'm a gun person. I've fired a lot of guns in my lifetime.
Yeah, it's fair.
Nobody in God's green earth should miss from that distance that many times.
No,
okay?
No, you shouldn't.
And if you do,
not with a target that big anyway.
Yeah, and if you do, you should never be allowed near a gun ever again, ever.
Oh yes, no, no. She should have that taken away from her immediately. Like, no. They escape. They obviously they get out of the police station. They get away from the killer. But
at this point, they honestly do. After that little show, they do deserve to die. Seriously,
they almost get hit by a truck. Jay saves her. This is another one of those things that just makes me laugh. Because they start to kind of have a moment, and then the killer walks through the door, and they immediately look at him. Just, we aren't together. Go kill somebody else. It's like, well, you're leaving mixed signals for the killer here. Like, you clearly were looking into each other's eyes, like, having a moment. So, like, it's some mixed signals there, guys. This is where they run to the drive-in. Why they ran to a drive-in to try to hide is beyond me. Because it doesn't go well for fucking anybody in this situation. So they hide. There's some people who make comments about, like, hey, man, I love your costume. And then there's other people that you hear in the background just like, that's fucking sick. That killer's real. Nobody does anything, though. Everyone just assumes it's some guy in a costume, and it can't possibly be the real killer.
Well, and the point I want to make, and you're right, hiding in the drive-in is not the smart, because all you're gonna do is you're gonna jump into somebody's car, and the first thing they're gonna go is, "Who the fuck are you? Yeah, get the hell out of my car," which is gonna give away where you're at pretty quickly.
They pick the one vehicle that doesn't happen. The
amazingly
one
enough.
Vehicle. But there's also a guy he kills right off the bat at this drive-in. There's somebody he's walking by, and they make the comment about, like, man, what a cool mask, whatever, and he just stabs them and then just keeps walking. And again, no one apparently notices this. He just makes the guy fall back into his car. But they hide in a van, and the van has 2 hippie stoner type people, and they look back and they're like, we're getting chased by the Hard Eyes killer. We need you to shut the hell up. And they just go, oh man, we love role play. And then they just go back to getting it on. Not a care in the world. But while they're there, we get a whole bunch of backstory about Jay and Allie, about they had polar opposite types of parents, and they start kind of, again, getting more of a connection with each other, whatnot. But because the people in the back refuse to stop fucking... They make too much noise, and the Hard Eyes killer opens up the back door, and I like this kill because he takes, like, the ex, like, carjack like, you know what I'm talking about. I couldn't think of the actual, even in my notes,
the actual
like multi-tool.
the lug wrench,
Yeah. See, because
because that's what it is. It's so it's basically you put it on the lug and you spin it to undo the lug nuts.
I think the reason my brain didn't connect with that is growing up, I knew absolutely no one with one of those. Everyone had something else that did the same thing. I don't know if I've ever known anyone who had the one that's an X. Totally honest here.
The idea is the lug nuts are supposed to be on so tight that you stomp on it to get it to loosen the nut, and then you spin it off.
And if you're me, you tighten it as you think you tighten them, and then you go to drive down to Dollar General and your tire flies off and goes down a hill, and you have to slowly drive it off to the side and somehow don't destroy your car. Which even my grandfather was like, I don't know how you pulled that off. I don't know how you didn't fuck up everything underneath it, but all right. But yeah, so the harder this kills, I like this kill just because I like creative things. He slams the dude down, and then the chick keeps screaming, so he just grabs her by the back of the head and slams her down on the next one. Just like, 2 for 1 with the same weapon. Nice. But obviously that makes Allie and Jay run. But then Allie comes up with this bright idea of that they need to face it together because they're a team. And if they don't stop him, he's just going to kill everyone else at the drive-in. And I just have to go, no fucking shit. You literally should have thought of that running into the drive-in and not now that he's already started killing people. What the fuck is wrong with you? Because he does. The hard-ass killer just straight starts massacring everyone who even comes anywhere close to him. And this is where you get the Josh Ruben cameo. He steps out of his car and just screams, "Somebody call 911!" Again, they should have kept his shuriken to the eye, because that would have made that better. I don't know why they cut that little detail out. But hey, whatever. Yeah, so he starts slaughtering a bunch of people. They get, like, fucking everybody. He just starts macheteing everybody like he's fucking Jason Voorhees. But Jay and Allie do team up, and I think Allie uses a cooler, if I saw right, but she smashes his head in. And they unmask the killer after they kill him here. And it's nobody that we've seen the entire movie, and even they just go, "Who the fuck is that?" No idea, because it's some random Asian guy who we have not seen. Because you may be thinking, oh, well, the IT guy David, because if you see the movie, you're just like, yeah, because he was an Asian guy, so it's him. It is not David. This is not something revealed right away, but it is a random fucking person, which does help explain just a little bit about why the killer was so sloppy. Of just, it's not one of the main killers. This is another person that was brought in. Which, again, all that will be revealed by the end. But we get more rom-com stuff with Jay and Allie here. Jay giving her his number, them talking about trying to finish up the ad and whatnot, and Allie, like, wanting more than just to do the ad work, blah, blah, blah. But Detective Shaw shows up, and we see that she has her arm... She has her arm in a sling. She looks a little rough. And she gives Jay a ride to his hotel. She's like, yeah, I can give you a ride. Make sure you get back there safe. I do also laugh at the ambulance in this scene. Because after they leave, she comes up to her and she's like, I have another call. So I'm going to need this. And she just takes the blankets off her. She's like, I'm going to need this and I'm going to need this. And she shuts the door and takes off. Mm-hmm. She's like, yeah, I know you went through a traumatic experience, but I got another call. I'm going to need all my shit back. Yeah, so yeah, then you think the movie's over at this point because Allie just goes back to her apartment and we get more rom-com stuff with Monica telling her she has to go to the airport and go get Jay. She can't let him leave. This is some crazy, stupid love shit. You just gotta go for it. And she does. Allie does. She does go to the airport. She also, like, body checks some poor random bastard who's just there because she runs into him. And then she hugs another random person who she thinks is Jay, and the dude gives her the look that is seriously just a who the fuck? Crazy ass white people? Like, what the hell? And he just keeps flicking to his plane. Every time I see that guy's face, I'm like, oh, I'd have the same look. Who the fuck is this crazy person just hugging onto me for dear life? But that's when she gets called by the killer. And the killer tells her, and he does the whole roses are red, violets are blue. But tells her that if she wants to see Jay, she has to come alone, and she has to come to the St. Valentine's Church, which I didn't even know was a thing. Maybe it's not a thing other than this movie. I wouldn't know. I'm the wrong person to ask that kind of stuff. So yeah, she goes. She goes to save Jay, because she's in love with Jay. Over this whole night of surviving together. Falling in love, kind of her whole thing. This is where we get the final killer reveals. And even they are a tad confused by the first one that's revealed, which is the tech guy, David, from back at the police station. And he has to even explain who the hell he is. Because Allie's just like, who? He's like, the IT guy. The guy who was at the police station? I tried to ask you out on a coffee and you turned me down because of the whole killer thing. Yeah, I was the killer. Like, yeah, that's why I said I knew you from somewhere. Like, my God. And they think that's it. But then, of course, it's revealed that Detective Shaw, she's the other killer. And they have the most fucked up, just fucked up little backstory. So they say that the third guy, the one that they killed, was part of a throuple, but they clarify that Shaw met David on an online group chat. Apparently a group chat for fucking psychopaths, because they talk about, they found that their fetish was killing other couples. That's what did it for them. And they decided to team up to seek out that fetish. And Eli, there we go. I had to look at the name I wrote down. Eli, the third guy, was a dude obsessed with their killings, and they brought him into it just to have him help with this whole plot thing they had going. But yeah, they're just fucking psychotic lovers who apparently that's their fetish, is killing other couples. And to each your own with your kink, but like, Jesus Christ, maybe seek some therapy if that is the kink that you find you've got. My God. You're a cop, lady. Like, for the love of God, just go talk to someone. But that this is where they reveal that originally they say that they were going to kill that other couple, which was Allie's ex and his new girlfriend, because they were also supposed to be at the vineyard and weren't, so they were purposely going to the restaurant to target them. But then they saw Allie and Jay kiss, and they're like, the chemistry was just there. You two were just, we could tell it was there. It wasn't. It wasn't until the drive-in.
Yeah.
Which is the thing Jay will bring up later, is that wasn't a thing until they got to the drive-in part. So they're so psychotic. But they get Allie a gun, a revolver with one bullet, and Shaw tells her, does she love Jay enough to save him by killing herself, or does she not love him at all and willing to kill him? And if she kills him, she's free to go. But she has to prove that she actually loves him. Take the shot. Allie does, this is one thing where like I will call just maybe a little bit of, I don't know if that's how that would work at all. She shoots him in the shoulder in a way that makes the bullet exit and enter Shaw, but I don't entirely know.
No, wait a second. Hang on. Hang on. I mean, theoretically, it's possible if you hit the fleshy part of the shoulder, it would go through, depending on the caliber, things like that. But besides that, this is the same girl who couldn't hit him 20 minutes ago from 5 feet away.
Yes.
And you want her to take a targeted shot through the shoulder to kill the bullshit. Okay.
Yeah. She couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. The revolver is it has the, maybe, I don't know. I don't know. Okay, that is just the choice that is made, that she makes a calculated shot through his shoulder.
Given, if I'm trying to remember the size of, there's no way in hell. Okay, I'm just saying.
I don't necessarily
I'm sorry.
think it would either.
No, because one, even if it's a 9 millimeter,
she pinpointed that.
A 9 millimeter is not going to go through the shoulder and then hit the person behind them hard enough to take them out.
Well,
no.
I mean, it's a revolver, so I mean, it could have been a 44.
If she would have fired a 40, no, if the way she was, she would have broke her nose when she fired that thing.
Oh yeah, no, I'm pretty sure this at best is like your typical like old school.
Maybe a 38,
I was about to say, I'm pretty sure it's like the old school revolver of a 38 special. Yeah. Like, so it's. Regardless, though, I also agree.
Anything bigger than that, her hand is a pat right there. She would have right up.
Like there's no way she was able to make a pinpoint shot through his shoulder into Shaw.
Because they've already shown that she can't handle a gun. They've already shown that.
So that's a little plot hole there. It's Mr. Ruben. I appreciated your movie for what it was, but that is 100% a detail where I'm like, but she couldn't hit the broadside of a fucking barn. How did she manage to pinpoint that?
And she knows to hit him in the fleshy part of the shoulder.
Well, she went to medical school. You never know.
Okay.
So anyway,
she got past the part where the ankle bone was connected to the okay.
The thigh?
The dem bones.
Anyway, so at this point, David and Shaw break up to take care of everyone themselves. Shaw takes care of Allie while David's taking care of Jay. This whole ending fight, like, goddamn. Because basically, so David's watching Shaw beat the shit out of Allie, and he's talking to Jay the entire time. It's just like, God, she's so hot. Look at the way she handles herself. Like, God, I love this woman. And Jay says what most people would be thinking in that situation, which is he grabs an arrow out of his belt, and he tells him that he talks too fucking much. And he extends it, because apparently these extend, like, they're not just full arrows. Apparently they extend regardless. He puts it.
They're collapsible that allows them to keep him on his belt. They're collapsible that allows him to keep him on his belt.
Yeah.
Now the fact that they would be spring loaded is a bit of a stretch, but
Yeah, they're pretty powerful too, because it enters through the temple and down through his eye into his nose. Which understandably hurts like hell. And he stumbles away. He ends up falling into candles and then gets burning wax poured all over him as he fucking flails around. And they just assume he's dead. I wouldn't have assumed he's dead, because I just wouldn't have assumed he's dead because
I've watched all the horror movies that they've been referencing so far.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I've seen enough horror movies. He's not dead. But he's dead enough for the moment. So that happens, and then it's down to Allie and Shaw fighting it out. And, goddamn. So this is where the metal straw comes back in. Because Shaw thinks she's going to deliver a killing blow. And Allie shoves her metal straw up through her chin. And just fucking rails that shit in there. And before Shaw could even react, Allie she body slam dive bomb because it does the whole camera flying back thing. Anyway, she gets sent into the St. Valentine statue, which it's another thing that's a fitting kill for Shaw, because she had mentioned before that they like the story of St. Valentine's because he got beheaded. So of course she gets beheaded as she gets slammed into the sword of the statue and then just keeps flailing around and it rips her fucking head off. And they have the whole thing here. Jay and Allie get together. They're just like, oh my God, I can't believe we survived this. And we cut to 1 year later, and they've made a new ad that does really well. Crystal Kane is celebrating because they've made so much money on this ad that they came up with. But it's revealed that Allie's gone back to med school. She's going to finish up. She doesn't have an aversion to blood anymore after dealing with all of that. That kind of fixed her not liking blood thing. So she's going back to school. Her and Jay are together. They got together almost immediately after surviving a traumatic experience. Can't see that leading to a bad relationship at all.
No.
But they go on date night, and they go to the drive-in that they were in. And even Allie brings up that it seems kind of fucked up that they went to the drive-in where everyone died, and they almost died. But Jay brings up that he brought her there because that's where, having the talk about their past, he realized that he loved her. So why not come back here for a date? And he does a proposal with an apartment key of, let's move in together. And then Allie one-ups him with, yeah, why don't we just get married? How about that instead? And it's a whole heartwarming, heart-touching, like, happy ending. And then we also get an end credit, like a couple credits play after we get heart eyes in the sky, and it says the end. It's a whole thing. But then we get an end credit where Allie gets a call, and it sounds like the killer again, and she gets on edge, and then it's just Monica. She's like, no, I'm just fucking with you. I got the shot. And it's that whole thing from the opening of the movie. She's like, yeah, no, I got the picture. I just wanted to fuck with you. So anyway, that's Hard Eyes. That is the entirety of Hard Eyes. It takes rom-com but adds a slasher into the mix. It's interesting. Not everyone enjoyed it, and I get why.
I think a lot of it, for going back over it, a lot of it for me was the third act. The third act, everything just kind of went off the rails and really didn't make sense for a lot of it.
The third act is, I suppose, where it really does kind of, it throws you through a loop the way that it handles itself. But I don't mind it. Like, for somebody like myself where I just don't get into rom-coms, I could watch this one and be okay, but that's because I have a fun killer to look at. I did see someone make a comment about the killer's just a leather obsessed weirdo, and that's it. And I'm like, I mean, yeah, they wears like a leather suit, whatever, but like, I love the design of Hard Eyes. I think that fucking, like, yeah, something about his the mask and the suit with the coat. Like, I enjoy the look of this killer. I thought it was pretty neat. But yeah, so Mr. Ruben, Josh Ruben.
Just a point though, with the red lenses and the basically, you know, the infrared vision.
Yeah.
That they missed a point to show that, man, if you're wearing those and somebody flashes a bright light in your face, man,
you're so yeah, that's not gonna go well for you. So yeah, that was Josh Ruben's like second movie he's made.
Yeah,
he's directed and whatnot there. I don't know. It's weird. It's cool seeing comedians who are good with it getting into doing horror. Because, like I said, he's been popping up in a bunch of different horror projects, like the Creep Tapes, and I think I saw him in something else recently where he was a character.
I never watched the Creep Tape. It'd be interesting though to see him with his side of humor and Jordan Peele to do something together and to work together on something. I think
that would be very neat. I actually agree with that. Like I said, I've enjoyed Josh
because
Ruben
Jordan Peele has
years,
the comedy chop,
like,
but he also has an understanding of how to tell a good horror story too. You
know, that would be neat.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know if he's doing anything else. I meant to look that up, but I did not. I don't entirely know if he has any other projects coming or something he's working on. But if you ever are on Dropout, give Josh Ruben the love, because he's a funny dude. He's good at what he does. And seeing him work with horror, like, I think Werewolves Within also has some problems, but like as far as what this movie did, I think that one worked just a little bit better playing with the stuff that it did. Because Hard Eyes is one of those ones where like you either like it or you hate it. I haven't really seen anybody that's more on the fence with it. Whereas
I am. I fall for on the fence. I fall.
You might be the first, because I saw either people hated it or they enjoyed it. There was like no in between I saw with anyone I talked to. But Werewolves Within is one where I know more people that liked it than hated it, whereas this one seems to be the opposite. To each his own. But it's February, so we got bunch of movies like this that we'll be covering over for Valentine's Day, which from when this airs will be next week. We're gonna do Valentine, because that's a movie I've only seen like once or twice maybe. But don't worry, we'll have the obvious ones like My Bloody Valentine. That'll be coming this month. So don't worry if you think we're not covering that one. Like, of course, this is... it'll be there. It'll be there. And then for, whatever the fourth movie is, I don't know yet. Still deciding on still trying to figure that out. But happy February, happy whatever the hell you're doing. And if you do something for Valentine's Day, just remember, if there's a killer out there, don't show public affection. Just keep it to yourself. Mm-hmm. Don't even hold hands. You don't know her. Walk 10 feet away from her, gentlemen. You don't know her till you get home. That's your rule for this one.
Push her toward the killer. I never loved her anyway.
We're getting a divorce, and then just run. Jesus Christ. But, as we say, don't bring things back from the dead. Don't prank your friends as a serial killer. Don't ever betray the puppets. Don't get in the water. Stop dumping chemicals in the sewers. Don't bury the dead under the road. There's a lot of rules.
And a new one, which will become clear once you go through the other stuff. Don't trust a munchkin. Okay? Don't do it.
Don't. I don't know. That one might be problematic. I don't know. I'm not up to date. But anyway, folks, before this gets even more out of control, stay on, stay happy. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye, folks. You know where to follow us. We'll put it in here. It's just, God damn it. God damn it. God.